Welcome everybody. Y'all already know what it is. MCXP Radio here on the BGSC Network, and I'm your host, the musicologist, aka Reed, man, and I'm glad I'm here. Glad to be back. Y'all already know how we do it. I got my man Broken in the building, and Big Game James is on his way. Y'all know what it is, MCXP Radio, baby. Let's get it started.
Swagger pimp, yeah. Can't now another nigga like me. Yeah. Okay, it goes 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, rockin'. It's time for hip hop. On they reach watch, no sir, not for show. No bars made up for fairy tales. I'm trying for a tragedy, I know it well. So put your hands up in the air just for the winners. A peace sign of pimps, the prostitutes, the sinners. We all deserve a second chance, but we products of illusion and victims of our own circumstance. Apply the pressure, I bet you can. Live the life that you love, shout out to Rand. Love the life that you live, shout out again. It ain't a tough pill to swallow once you comprehend.
All right, y'all, man. Welcome. You are kicking it in the man cave. I'm your host, musicologist A Reed, man. My man Broken is in the building. As you can see, man, he got that smooth little picture of him right there. You know, he always like to be incognito. But we love it, man. We love it. We love it. We love it. Big Game James is on the way. And as y'all can see, man, I kind of changed up the colors a bit because I have to represent my squad, the Cincinnati Bengals. It is NFL season. It is back. Preseason is back. I'm glad because this is my favorite time of the year. This is like a man soap opera. Okay. I don't know if you guys, watch soap operas or any of y'all old enough to understand Young and the Restless, One Life to Live, General Hospital, All My Children, all of this stuff. Those used to be, them old school soap operas. For me, don't know about everybody else, but for me, when it comes to the football season, it's a man soap opera because we're on the edge of our seats every single week and only lasts for so long. And you never know who's going to win, who's going to lose, who's taking it all away. You never know, man. So it's always on the edge of my seat. I love to be in it. I love it. I love it. I love it. One of my favorite times of the year. So thank everybody for tuning in, joining in, logging in, please. If you're here, man, leave your comments. Definitely, man. Just gonna enjoy this as always. Today, some NFL, real easy show, man. NFL quick hits. I've got questions. You've got answers. Let's get into it, man. I can't wait. Broken, are you ready, man?
Yes, sir.
I can always be chilling in the cut, man. One of these days, man, we gonna get this man a camera so y'all can see. He's always chilling in the cut. Like I said, in big game, already text me he's on the way, man. So, with that being said, let's get into the business. My first question to you, Broken. Does Trevor Lawrence win the MVP this year?
Fuck no. Trevor Lawrence win the MVP? No. He has a good year. He has a good year, but yeah, I don't know if I'm not sure if he'll get any MVP votes or challenge for MVP. Did he get MVP votes last season? I mean, I know he had a good year last year, and what they came back on the Chargers and won that game. Uh, I don't. Mm, no, I don't think he wins MVP.
You don't think he wins MVP? That's fine. Let's check his stats, man. His stats from last season. Now, this is last season.
Okay.
4,113 yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 picks, with a 95.2 passer rating.
Who won MVP last season?
Shit, if I can remember. Uh, who did win MVP last year? MVP last football season. Oh, of course, Mahomes. Of course, it was Patrick Mahomes. Of course.
Yeah, I mean, he would have to go. Uh, how many games do we have now? 17 or 18
Like
regular season
17 games.
games?
Yeah, like 17 games.
17.
Yeah.
So we talking 15-2, 15-2, maybe
Okay.
14-3. Like,
Okay.
do you see them doing that? I'm not sure if you see them doing that. I haven't looked at their schedule. I haven't looked at their schedule, but uh 14 wins over 3 losses is going to be hard to do in any division. I don't care if you're in the weakest division. 14 wins over 3 losses is hard to do in a league. Uh, those last three, a lot of times, if you're blowing your division away, like a lot of these teams are literally throwing away those last 2 games of the year anyway. Like they're literally like not necessarily caring about going into the playoffs hot. Except for last season, you had a run for the number 1 seed. You know, we had that game in Buffalo, obviously, or the Buffalo game. It was the Buffalo Cincinnati, right? Where DeMar Hamlin got hurt.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that messed up everything, right? That messed up the whole seating and everything, and we had confusion. We didn't understand who was gonna play at home. Uh, you know what I'm saying? They were talking about it was all kind of problems
Right.
with with the seating, the home field advantages and stuff like that going into that AFC. You know, but uh, other than that, I don't know. Yeah, he has to. I mean,
He
at the
has to
end of the
have
day,
one hell
yeah.
of a season.
What I'm saying is, yeah, and the team has to have a great record, and I don't know if, not sure if he'll be able to pull off a record like that in the
For
AFC.
14 and 2, and like you saying for the AFC, I'm not necessarily sure. In that division, the AFC South is Jaguars, Titans, Colts, and it's Texans. I mean, you can pretty much kind of say
Titan,
from last
he only
year,
got to worry. He got to worry about the Titans. The only
yeah,
team possibly to worry about. I mean, they
possibly, and that's a small
always
possibility.
solid. Well, they Titans are always solid though, and they're always competitive. So we don't
Oh,
know
yeah,
if
yeah,
they're gonna
yeah.
be. We don't know if they're gonna be actually good or sauce. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're not sure, but Titans usually competitive. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
I wouldn't just say the Jaguars are gonna walk over them for the division.
yeah. I mean, Jaguars finished 9-8 last season, with the Titans right behind them at 7-10. Um, so I mean, I'm not necessarily going to say it's a toss up between both of those teams. I think the Jaguars ultimately are probably the better team in that division, probably the best team out of those four in the division. But I do agree with you that the Tennessee Titans will quite possibly, definitely give them a run for their money. I can see that.
Yeah,
I can definitely.
both of them teams are around what, 9-10 games,
Yeah,
9-10 game winners,
yeah.
11 game Jaguars could exceed they could exceed what they did last year by 2 or 3 games. That's
I
possible. I don't, MVP is out of, come on, Burrow, Allen, uh, Lamar Jackson, and
so
you know
Trevor Lawrence is not beating none of those guys.
Mahomes.
Basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I would throw my guy in the mix, but that's just Herbert. I would throw
Yeah,
Herbert in the mix, but that's just, it's low key not realistic until it happens. Like, I can't, I would love to pump my own guy and be like, oh yeah, Herbert's gonna win MVP. Yeah, NFL MVP for the whole NFL. Yeah, I don't know, bro. You got a lot of competition in your
I hear you.
same conference.
I hear you. I hear you on that. Okay, okay. Let's transition to this next question. And speaking of the Tennessee Titans, my next question is: will Derrick Henry have the most rushing yards this year? Hmm. It was a
I
big signing.
wanted I wanted to hurry up and say no again, but the Titans are gonna have to run a lot. They're gonna have to rely on him a lot. They're gonna have to run the ball a lot. Um, who led last year? Jacobs. Did
Last year,
Jacobs
Josh,
lead?
last year, Josh Jacobs led. He had 1653. Derrick Henry was number two with 1538. Then Nick Chubb came in
Okay.
third, 1525, and Saquon Barkley had 1426. Those are your top four running backs.
Derrick Henry has a good chance to lead this year because they're gonna have to run the ball a lot more. The Raiders will have to run the ball a lot too, but Jacobs has to get actually on the field. I don't. He did not play in that preseason game. Their preseason game with the Niners. He did not
Mhm.
appear in that game, and I'm not. I don't think he has a contract yet. So Jacobs have to actually get on the field. I don't know if holding out a little bit or just the contract thing being up in the air is gonna hurt him going into the season. Sometimes it does hurt these guys going into the season. It's gonna take them a few games, but I mean, dude has such a monster like last part of the year. I don't even know if he did a lot in the first few games of last season. I don't remember hearing hearing about him too much. I mean, it was like game 8. From game 8 to the end of the season, that's when he did all that damage.
Titans just signed the wide receiver. Um, what's his name? Your boy from Arizona. They just signed him. So that's gonna take some balls away from Derrick Henry. So I can't necessarily say that he is going to end up uh, leading the league in rushing because some touches have to go away. As you can tell, the last few seasons they have been very heavy, very, very heavy on the run game, and rightfully so because Derrick Henry has been carrying them like a workhorse. Um, but it's going to be interesting to see um, how they put this together. It's going to be interesting. Does he have the most rushing yards? I mean, he can. I
When
get
does when does he when does he start to break down? Because I mean, running backs tend to start breaking down a little bit after having so many seasons with so many carries.
mhm.
He's a different type of specimen though. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, the guy is a physical beast and a monster, but he has missed a few games in the last couple years, late in the season.
Yeah.
So I if we're gonna say who does lead, if it's not Henry, who do you think leads?
Ooh.
Would you go with Chubb or Barkley or someone else? Is Taylor gonna come back? Is Jonathan Taylor gonna come back
Jonathan
and be
Taylor, I
a
believe, will be back with the Colts. I believe that. I could go on a limb and say even Joe Mixon, maybe, but I think he'll probably be in the mix. I don't know if he'll necessarily be top at the end of the season.
nah? Y'all pass too
Um,
much. See, you can't be a home.
yeah,
Yeah, you
that's what I'm
can't.
saying. That's what I'm saying. We pass a lot. We pass a lot.
Yeah, y'all.
Bengals
Yeah.
we pass a lot, so it's very, very hard to dictate that.
My guy Austin Eckler will never lead the league in rushing. In rushing, he's led the league, I believe, in total touchdowns for like the last few seasons, but it not in rushing. He won't lead the league in rushing. We pass too much, and he's not necessarily a pure rusher like that. So I know for a fact Austin Eckler, my guy, will not lead the league in rushing, but think he will have another great fantasy season for sure. Have another great
Oh yeah,
fantasy season in general,
oh yeah,
but to
fantasy
lead
most
in
definitely.
rushing, to lead in rushing, the team almost really has to rely on you, and that's Chubb, Henry, Barkley. Those are definitely Jacobs last year because Derek Carr was just terrible. Was a
Yeah,
terrible passer last year, and the Raiders they're gonna have what's the name behind center this year? Old boy from the Niners, right? That's who they're
Yeah,
is that who they're
Garoppolo.
that's
Garoppolo.
who they're planning on starting, right?
Yeah,
Garoppolo.
yeah, yeah.
So they're gonna be relying on the run. So
Uh,
I think it's I think it's gonna be that same list of four guys towards the top, definitely, and you could probably pick them out of those guys.
no doubt. Coming into the mix, my boy Big Game James. Big Game, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, thank you. What's happening, y'all?
Hey man,
Uh,
you know it's all good. You know it's all good. Big A, look, you
yeah,
got your Tampa. You know, I got mine
Oh
in the
shoot,
back.
my bad.
Oh man, you know how it go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We represent. I had to change it, put the little orange in the mix, man.
I
You
ain't
know what I'm
mad at
saying?
yeah,
you.
But it's good, man. Good big game, man. You kind of right here. Remember that was actually like the second question. My first question, and this is just NFL, just quick hits, man. NFL
hmm
quick hits today. I got the questions and y'all got the answers. The first one that I did pose was this Trevor Lawrence winning the MVP this
No, I don't think so. Although,
yeah.
I mean, he will be better, and they got Calvin Ridley to come help him after that 1 year long suspension for the gambling, which was bullshit anyway. But he's back in the league. I think he gives him another weapon to have. Trevor Lawrence will have success, but MVP, I'm not ready to put him that high up on the pedestal.
year. No doubt, no doubt. And then our second question was Derrick Henry have the most rushing yards?
No, because every year Derrick Henry carries the load. In the last couple of games of the year, he's on the sideline not playing. You know, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Josh Jacobs led the league last year.
Yeah, he
Um,
did.
the, the Raiders need to really figure out how to get him in the camp. But Derrick Henry is a workhorse. He's the bell cow. We know that for Tennessee. But for some way, shape, or form, it's always the one game where you think he about to go crazy. You go get him in your daily fantasy, and he get like 2 yards on 20 carries. And you be like, what the hell is wrong with Derrick Henry this week? So I don't know who it's going to be. And as funny as it sounds, what NFL team is going to run the ball the most?
That's a good question.
You know what I mean?
That is a
Like,
very good question.
who's going to give their running back a chance to really eat? Because we already see they don't want to pay him, right?
Facts. Facts. So that is crazy, man. All right, let's go to the next question. Should CJ Stroud start week 1 for the Houston Texans?
Yes.
Hell yeah. What do you have to lose?
Yeah, nothing. You in that situation, you really have nothing to lose. You really don't. I
What's
don't
the
see it.
yeah, what's the other guy's
I
name? David Wells? No, was it Wells? Not
Something
Wells.
like
yeah,
that.
something like that. We
Hey,
don't
look,
even know. We don't even know the other. We nobody knows who the other guy is. We'll
right,
just put him out there, and you give him the most reps during preseason. Like let him work with the first team and all that,
right,
and
right.
and you put him out there.
Yeah.
Period. That's what I would do.
I mean, he's
I
got
don't
to get
think,
the experience.
yeah, I don't think you invest that much of getting a first, second round pick guy as your franchise or your future, or, your franchise at the quarterback position and don't play him,
Right.
you know. Um, I just never ever saw that. And it'd be a different story if they did have somebody that he could learn from. But I mean, it's quite obvious that he wasn't really having that much of a QB battle down there in Houston. So, I mean, seriously, you know what I'm saying? So I believe, you get him in there, you take the licks and, do for what it does. He has to learn at some point. Um, I think preseason is cool, but preseason to me is almost just like two-hand touch football. You know, you
Yeah.
gotta you gotta get him in the mix to
Yep.
understand how it is week to week within the seasons. You know what I'm saying? Learning, and he has to learn how to play against the top guys, against the top guys in the league, because that's all he's gonna see. He's gonna see the first stringers, and he's gonna see some of the second stringers. Most of those first string guys is gonna be coming at him like crazy. So, I think most definitely Houston, you need to start them. I don't think Houston is gonna go far, of course. I'll be happy if they at least get a win. Under his belt. But yeah. But I agree
Wait,
with you.
you said a win? Do you mean one win for the entire season?
yeah.
Ouch. Uh, yeah.
I,
When did Deshaun Watson start? First start his rookie season. That first his first year in Houston. Did he come straight in starting, or did he sit behind anybody?
I
I
thought
don't.
he sat and then
I,
came in, if I
I
remember
don't.
correctly.
I don't remember. Okay. Okay. But I mean, I seem to remember he came in pretty strong when he did.
Yeah, yeah.
When he finally did suit up, like he was playing pretty good from the beginning.
But he was a different breed, man. He was a different breed.
Do you think CJ Stroud could be that breed? Do you see that same pedigree of quarterback?
It's hard to say.
Mm.
Not as
I
a pure, not I don't know if I see him as a pure passing guy. I
I
think
don't think he
Deshaun
has the
Watt.
same talent. I
Yeah,
don't think he has the same
yeah.
talent as what Deshaun
I'm
has.
not. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not sure.
You know, so I think it's going to be a nice little work in progress. Work in progress. But speaking of thinking about the week one guys, we have another quarterback, rookie quarterback, Anthony Richardson for the Colts. Should he be the starting quarterback for the Colts in week one?
I say no.
Mm.
And the only reason I say that, Reed, is the talent level they say is the athleticism is so high that they're gonna want him to work magic. Your running back is distraught, hurt ankle, don't know when he's gonna be back and really play. Your offensive line is not great. You do have one all pro guard. Every other position has kind of got holes in it up front. Are you really going to be able to protect this young man for him to do the things that he's capable of doing? And I know I should not keep harping on this, but that last game I saw him play against Florida State in college, he looked like he needed 2 more years of college, not just one.
Wow. Wow. I mean, but this it's film, man. At the end of the day, that's film. You know, so
I agree with that one, with that assessment. I don't think he should start either. In this situation, his situation is a little different.
my
So
thing is when you have guys like this, is it's a weird kind of situation. Because who's the other quarterback?
Gardner Minshew.
Okay, you see, you got Gardner, and I think they still trying to maybe hype on the little flame and flash of hope that Gardner had when he was with the Jaguars. But I feel like that's a situation that at any moment Gardner can get pulled and they put in Richardson. And let's just say, they got Gardner in there. And it's always one of those things, the game and bro, we see it all the time where the fans are out there cheering and saying that they want Richardson, they want Richardson, they want Richardson. You know what I'm saying?
well,
And
I
then
mean, my bad. Go ahead.
no, I'm just saying, the fans are saying it seems like it's pressure on the coach. It starts to be pressure on the owner and stuff like that. And then you put him in and he's just thinking up the place. So, it's just one of those things. I'm not necessarily sold on him all the way. So,
I think is that's always going to happen, right? Like when you have a rookie guy that was drafted high and you haven't put him in yet, and your first guy is stinking up like the joint or whatever, or the team in general is playing bad,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't think the coach is going to do too much in general overall, right? So I think Gardner Minshew is more of a good, so to speak, no disrespect, but he's a crash test dummy, right? Like he's a good guy to put out there. To me, that's how I see him, in my opinion. And he's a good guy to put out there because he has played QB in the league already. He had some starts and stuff like that. And he can go out there and he can take the brunt of the blame for how bad the team looks. And Richardson can sit down and maybe learn something, not necessarily from Minshew, but just watching from the sideline at a pro level and stuff like that. So as long as he's watching and learning something, and trying to and getting himself ready on the other end of it, maybe he'll be able to come in with a different viewpoint or he know what he can do differently than what Minshew can do, and then he'll be able to say, okay, well, when I get in, I can do things a little different. I can do this different. I can do that different. But it's tough to put young guys in bad situations and think that they're
Yeah.
gonna just totally excel and look great. I mean, that's always the hard thing to do. I hate that for them sometimes where they get picked to such bad teams.
Big game.
RG3.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
And
man.
man,
Um,
that first or second season when him and that other the rookie running back where
Hmm.
they had a great year that year though.
They
That I
did.
mean,
I'll explain why I said RG3 though, B. And the reason I say that is he was forced into a situation early after being hurt. And I know that it's a little bit different. Now, I still believe that Washington ruined the career that RG3 could have had. And I think he could have had a better career than what he did. So often, these young black athletic quarterbacks get thrown into a situation where it's like, well, damn it, we picked it. We got to play him now. They get hurt. They try to do too much. Then when it doesn't work out, they quick to write them off and go, oh, well, we made a mistake. We'll regroup and rebuild right now. I don't want to see that happen with Anthony Richardson. I think he's very talented. He's done some things in camp that are blowing people's socks off that look amazing. But realistically, when you got ones going against ones and that rookie, that bad O-line has got to try to protect this young rookie quarterback that has made bad decisions in college that may not be mature enough yet. Athletically, he's beyond gifted. But the football mindset and mentality that he needs to have to be that dude, I don't know if he's ready yet. So I just don't want to see him get thrown to the wolves and don't have the support that he needs.
I always wonder in these kind of situations how the owner feels about the team, knowing that he has this kind of situation as far as quarterback. Is he expecting his coach to go over above and beyond something that's probably not possible? You know what I'm saying? What kind of things that they be having in mind? Because we've seen it plenty of times where you have these owners that have very new guys coming in. And they're expecting them to make it to the playoffs or do this and then the third, and it's like it's a whole brand new season.
Reed, can I tell you something, dog? And you
What's
might
up?
laugh at me. Man, for a lot of these owners, this shit is a tax write-off. Some of them
mm,
don't give it. Everybody's not Jerry Jones. Everybody's not, Arthur Blank is trying to do that in Atlanta. Like he cares about winning. Man, some of these dudes don't give two flying fists, and that's why they go through coaches and GMs as much and as fast as they do. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, for them, it's a business. It's a write-off.
and
They can write the losses off.
that was going to be my question to you, Big Game. Is what is your read on Jim Irsay? Because just real quick, like I don't know if I see him as passionate or an asshole or how do I see him? Like I don't know if
Dare I
he's
say,
really
dare I say drunk?
I mean, he's had his issues, dog. I played for Ursay, was the owner of the Colts when I played there, man.
It's all good.
And no, shit, don't
He,
apologize for
he's
that.
he is spending all that damn money on a fucking Shamu.
I mean, he was a good owner to the fact that he would try to take care of players when it came time to gifts and stuff like that. Can I sit up here and speak for him and tell you exactly what his motives are? No, but I can tell you from what I saw, what I think, that he has other interests and other things going on. Yes, he wants to be successful because at the end of the day, that's like bragging rights at the lunch table when you bag the bad girl. Hey dog, I got the baddest baddie. What you got, man? You ain't got nothing. That's what these owners do when they get together. These owners meetings. So yeah, they want to perform, but for some of them will sit back there and be in the bottom of the driver's seat forever. You think the Ford family in Detroit is really sweating that much?
not no. Obviously
Come
not.
on.
That's
I mean,
fucked up.
it is what it is, dog. I mean,
They
now
never
I think
it never really seemed like they tried to win, but now they got a up and coming little team now. Maybe they'll finally put some like it's like some of these NBA teams, right? Like nobody ever thought anything of Milwaukee, just for an example. But as soon as Milwaukee, they finally get a guy. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
Antetokounmpo, and then they finally start trying to seem like they're gonna put together a quality front office and coaching staff to get over the hump, right? So
Right.
maybe Detroit is finally trying to do that. It's like you sit on this garbage franchise for years until you finally catch lightning in a bottle. You get a couple good players. You know what I'm saying? You say, oh, okay, well, we've been bad for so long. Maybe we'll
Mhm.
go ahead and throw a little money into them and a little effort, and maybe we can, get over the hump and finally win the city something.
Yeah, and I think Detroit's going to be better than. And I hate having to use them for an example, but you think about some teams that have been bad for a long time. You know what I mean? And that's a team that's been up there for a long time. Hey, and guess what? Your ownership group has been talked bad about for a long time as well.
Cincinnati for a long time.
That
For a
ownership
long
group has
time.
been, a lot of people talk bad about them for a very long time. And like I said, yeah, it's bragging rights. So when you're doing well, you'll continue to try to build on that. But if you fall under that radar and that stuck down in the mud for a long, long time, it'll go by the wayside a little bit, and they'll look into other things. Like the Glazer family own the Buccaneers, and they own part of Manchester United also. So a lot of their business
Right.
tie-ins
Right.
was with damn soccer. But when they finally built a defense, and Jason Light, the GM, was like, shit, I got something here. Hey, y'all, do you support me going to get Tom Brady? They're like, oh, shit, we got a chance to get him? Oh, yeah, we all in. They turned the marketing around, everything they needed to do. It got them another Super Bowl. It got them notoriety. Bucks became popular again.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll take – and now this year here, they're talking about our center probably ain't going to start this the first game of the goddamn season. So they about to go by the wayside and be flying overseas working on the damn soccer team. What?
Right. And Manchester United is like the Cowboys or, any famous, the Lakers, the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
They're like any really great franchise, any really great franchise of notoriety, even if they're not winning right now. But that's their level in England. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Manchester
Mhm.
United, that's Beckham, David Beckham, and all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
that's so Manchester, they can easily just say, okay, we'll spend most of our time focused on this one this year, for the next couple seasons or whatever. They can easily do that when you own a franchise like that, and
No doubt. No doubt. Let me get to my next question to you guys. Will Russell Wilson bounce back this year?
Oh shit. Ooh. Ooh.
Why is it
it will Ciara be his piece this year?
Oh. I wish I had the soundboard right
You
now.
got a new coach.
I wish I had the soundboard going right now. Man, I never imagined Russell Wilson playing as bad as he did last year, y'all. Like, he had made enough of a leader out of me from his days in Seattle to where when I saw last year, I was like, wait. It's the same dude that we talked about all these years being super great, defy the odds, take a team to the Super Bowl, should be a 2-time Super Bowl champion. The coach made a bad play call. This is him. So, honestly, and I'm not to try to sound cliche, can he do worse than what he did last year?
Oh my God!
Can he do worse? With Sean Payton coaching?
I never thought Russell Wilson would be almost exposed as a fraud. Like almost to the point where he almost, and it was that was heartbreaking for me because I really thought Russell Wilson was like one of the best QBs in the league. To me, he was always clutch. He was always solid. He was one of those guys that you feared in the last minutes of a game.
Never turned the ball over.
Yeah, never really turned the ball over too much.
Right.
And last year, it seemed like he couldn't throw past 35 yards. 30 yards, 25 yards. Like, it really couldn't seem like – and I was just I was shocked and devastated by the way he played, especially considering he had weapons too. He had some guys. He had 2 receivers. He had a big tight end. He had 2 pretty athletic running backs. I do not, and the coaching was horrible though. The coaching was absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
They got him out of there in the middle of the season. He finally he didn't make it the whole year, and they brought Sean Payton in. Nobody thought Sean Payton was gonna do what he did with Drew Brees, and so maybe he can do something with Russell. And I'm not ready to write Russ off as a fraud, but
he'd have to have a bad season this year to make me be like, okay.
If he have another bad season, I'm gonna close the book on his ass.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, I just in my mind, I'm kind of
he turns into a very system quarterback.
Yeah, I cannot see him playing that bad 2 years in a row. I can't see it. Not to say it won't. I just in my mind, I cannot fathom that he would be that bad again.
Yeah. It was very perplexing. I didn't understand it. I did not understand what was going on. But I think he was hurt. I think he was more hurt than what he let on. I think it was something wrong. It was something wrong with his shoulder or his throwing arm or both of his shoulders. It was something wrong. Something was wrong, and he was trying to play through it. I know he missed some games during the season. You know what I'm saying? And he even said that he was hurt, and there was rumors coming out saying that he was playing on an injury or something, and he might need surgery. And I mean, all the rumors are gonna happen when you're playing bad, right? Like everybody's gonna be like, question, okay, is this guy hurt? Is there something wrong with him? Does he really need surgery? Like, is he through? You know? And I just hope the guy. I think he's a likable guy. I don't see any reason for people to hate on him, and I kind of I want him to have success or whatever. And
he's got one, right? One ring.
Yeah, one ring.
Yes.
Went to 2, 1-1. Okay.
Went to 2-1-1. Yeah.
I thought he was on track for a Hall of Fame career. I really did, and that trade is really looking great for Seattle and bad for Denver right now with the way it's going currently. But
yeah, because those draft picks they had that could get them over the hump this year is right now right now Seattle won.
Yeah, they did.
Yes, sir. You're right.
Yeah, they did.
Right.
Still speaking on the topic of quarterbacks, everybody has been talking about the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers. Let's just ask, how far can the Jets go with Aaron Rodgers? They just signed Dalvin Cook. If y'all didn't hear that, he is part of the Jets. Yeah, he is part of the Jets now.
Yeah.
So with this roster that they have been building in New York for the Jets and Aaron Rodgers and what they are saying, just how far are these Jets going to go?
Hey, Reed, would you think I'm crazy if I said they'd probably be the third best team in their division?
Wow.
Even with that, now, granted, their defense is amazing, but I still believe that a healthy
behind the Bills and the Dolphins?
Yeah, a healthy Tua makes Miami a much better team than a lot of people believe, gonna give them credit for. I might be a little far-fetched in thinking that, talking smack because, I hate giving Aaron Rodgers any kind of love. But, I'll speak my truth. That, it is what it is, dog. But he's going to help. Kyle Wilson was one that, whatever the hell that boy named, Zach Wilson, was awful. And Aaron Rodgers is
the MILF hunter.
Wow.
But Aaron Rodgers is a definite upgrade, right?
Yeah, he's a definite upgrade.
He's a definite upgrade. So how far will they go? I don't know, man. The AFC loaded.
Yeah.
Now their defense is a monster, dog. But what does he do? Like I said, everybody keeps talking about Aaron Rodgers. How many championships Aaron Rodgers got?
One.
How many Super Bowls Aaron Rodgers played in?
One.
I believe it's one.
One.
Yeah. So
I
why
think,
is it all of a sudden we talk about Aaron Rodgers as a guy to get them to the promised land?
Which is a good question. Which is a very good question. Very good question. I can't knock that one. I can't knock that.
I'm gonna be the guy that says they can go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, you sounded like
I'm gonna be the
Green.
guy. I'm gonna be the guy that said, "Well, I'm not a Jets fan. I'm definitely not a homer or whatever. I'm not Greeny. Greeny is a huge Jets fan.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But I could see Tom Brady to the Bucks scenario here. I think Aaron Rodgers is really being dropped in a great situation for himself. Like, he's going to have good young receivers. He brought over a couple guys he's familiar with already, in addition to some of the good receivers that he has. They have a great defense.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers, I think the reason why we talk about Aaron Rodgers possibly winning MVP or going to the Super Bowl every year is because he's a great quarterback. And is he overrated? I wouldn't necessarily say overrated, but I don't know. I think some people feel that he may be overrated because he hasn't gone as far as a guy who gets that much praise should have been going, right? Like every year. It seemed like he should have had more than one Super Bowl. But did Green Bay just seem like they never wanted to get him receivers? They never wanted to get him help.
That's true. You're right on that one.
So even though it looked like the Packers were gonna go farther than they did every year. Every year they would look great for stretches of the season. They would look terrible for some games for stretches of a season. They would look terrible, and then in the playoffs, it seemed like they were always exposed in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And in one of those playoff games, they would get exposed, and they would say, "Okay, well, these guys were not who we thought they were."
Let them off the hook.
Man, you had a good point when you said that Tampa Bay is, type thing. And Brady did come into one hell of a defense that year. And Mike Evans and Chris Godwin at wide receiver. That's
right.
And now you also add Dalvin Cook in the backfield to just like how the Buccaneers got Leonard Fournette to help them out. That's a damn good comparison, honestly. To where I might have to rethink what it does for them. I mean,
I think they surprise.
I
think they do surprise us. I think I will go ahead and say that Jets go into the playoffs. I think they will surprise us. Do I think they beat any of those top AFC teams? I'm not sure. I'm not sold on that just yet. I'd have to see what they do within that whole season, personally.
The AFC is just so top. I mean, it's just so tough at the top,
loaded.
right? Like it's loaded at the top, and those games are going to be shootouts, probably even with the defenses. We're calling some of these defenses pretty good, but I mean it's you gotta outscore Mahomes, Allen, Burrow. Like you gotta outscore these guys, and is Aaron gonna be able to do that? Is he gonna be able to outshoot those young gunners?
I don't believe in Josh Allen no more for some reason. I'm not buying his Kool-Aid. I don't know what it is, man. Something about Josh Allen.
Ain't showing up in them big games, man.
He gotta make a believer. He gotta make me a believer.
Speaking of Mahomes, guys. Will the loss of Eric Bieniemy affect those Chiefs?
No, not at all. Not
Mm.
one bit. Not 1%.
Mm.
How much was Bieniemy calling plays, or how much was Andy Reid? I always ask that question. So I don't know. I don't think they have a much of a drop. And,
No.
I mean, I don't think so, Reed. I don't know. I mean, put it like this: time will tell if he had more of an effect than we know. But the way it feels to me, they're gonna be all right.
And I think Andy Reid is the genius, and Andy Reid, he's the guy holding that big ass, well, little big for him because it looks little in his hands, right? The call sheet, like he's the one holding the call sheet, man. And it seems like he was in crucial parts of the game and everything. He's gonna take over the play calling. He's gonna call the offense. He's gonna set things up. So I don't see any drop off, man. I honestly don't at all.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna affect the Chiefs at all.
Fair assessment. Fair assessment. Still on the topic of quarterbacks, man. I know they've been saying this down here in Dallas. I know some of you guys have probably been paying attention, everybody that's been listening. But should Cowboy fans be worried about these picks that Dak is having in the camp?
I got a theory on that. Reed.
What's up?
Generally, I would say yes. You need to worry about how many interceptions your quarterback's throwing in training camp. But he's throwing against these are ones versus ones in training camp. He's throwing against two of the best. Diggs led the league in interceptions a couple years ago, and one of the best corners just got paid. And then they also add Stephon Gilmore, and the safety that the Cowboys just repaid isn't bad at all. So, is it just Dak being that bad, or is it because he's throwing against one of the better defensive secondaries in the NFL? So I think it has a little bit to do, like, for me, his psyche might be off, but I think a lot of it is because of who he's facing in practice every day.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think his secondary. I don't know if they hate him. I wouldn't say that they hate him or they dislike him. But what I will say is they're not going to give him any shorts, like in practice or in camp. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna bring they're gonna bring it to him like all of those guys are alphas. You know what I'm saying? In that secondary, and if they can make him look silly, like they will. They don't care.
And I think they're trying to bring the best out of him. So I think they're gonna call him on when he do something he shouldn't do and throw something he shouldn't throw. I think they're gonna let him know about it because you look at that defense on paper for the last couple of years.
Well, they want to win too. They want to win.
Yeah, at least their back end. I still think they were lacking up front for a while until they got Parsons actually play in a lot more than he needed to. So that helped. But at the same time, them dudes like, look, dog, we on paper we should be one of the better defenses in the league, and you giving the ball away all this time. What the hell going on? Let's call him on this shit and make him better. And I think that's what they're doing in practice right now.
Okay, I can respect it. I don't know how necessarily how far the Cowboys are gonna go. I know Cowboys fans say it every year, man. Jay Stoggs and them gonna say it every year. We gonna see.
Hey, Reed, I had a conversation with somebody this weekend, and I said, seeing sort of training camp video that I've seen, I honestly do believe that the Cowboys have a Super Bowl caliber defense. And I haven't said that in a long time about them. I honestly think they do. Adam Mozzie, the guy they got from Michigan up front to go along with Lawrence, they're going to put Michael Parsons at end to have help there too. Adding Gilmore on defense to go opposite of Diggs. And I don't even know how Stephon Gilmore's still doing the thing he's doing at the age he is, dog. It's just like he must have like some secret serum or something his ass is taking every night to wake up young. Like he must have a fountain of youth in his house. And he might think, man. And I ain't one to, and trust me, the last team my ass want to see go win a Super Bowl is the damn Dallas Cowboys. That's God honest truth. But that damn defense they got is not bad, bro.
It is not bad. It is not bad. I totally agree with you.
Dak, I don't know, man. Only time will tell because I think he in his own head sometimes. I think, but a lot of it this summer right now, I believe, is the secondary though. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it until I see otherwise.
I don't know if you guys have watched that Netflix series Quarterback.
Oh, I've heard about this. I have not seen it yet.
Wonderful series. But chronologically, watching over, you had Patrick Mahomes, you had Marcus Mariota, and you had Kirk Cousins. And it's amazing to see those guys in their personal lives and how they go about, football on a regular basis. Of course, we know Pat won the Super Bowl. Kirk came into the playoffs but lost, and Mariota got benched in the middle. But yes, they talk about it. They talk all about it. But watching that, they brought me to this question. For the Minnesota Vikings, is this a make or break season for Kirk Cousins?
That man get more chances than a white police officer. I want to say it should be make or break, but for some reason, every year Kirk Cousins plays subpar, and they'll make an excuse of why he did it, and he'll be back the next year, or he'll come out with a great spurt for a while, look great, then all of a sudden just go into a snowball effect, and next thing you know, bam.
Watch that series, man, because it's gonna make you believe. I mean, it damn near makes you root for Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
It really does. He's a very cool cat on the outside of it, family man, honest and stuff like that. It makes you root for him. You want to see the guy win. And I found myself actually saying, like, I wouldn't mind seeing Kirk winning it all.
Damn, it did it like that for you?
It did. I'm not gonna lie. It made me say, like, damn, Kirk, like, damn.
He's that much of a likable guy, huh?
Watch it, bro. You will be surprised how likable he actually is outside of football. Yeah, and I know I've said my things about him and stuff like that, before, as far as talent, but the guy is really like, he studies this game, and it's just like, it just can't. Sometimes, you just got good guys, and it just doesn't fall into place. But watching that stuff, man, it kind of makes you root for the dude. Real talk.
Okay.
I'm with Big Game. I kind of think it doesn't really make sense to keep asking if it's this make or break season, because it seems like we've been asking that same question for 3-4 seasons.
Yeah.
Like they were asking that in Washington. And then he got a huge deal in Minnesota.
Right.
And then in Minnesota, I think he got a re-up deal, right? Like he's already been re-signed since.
Yeah, they reworked it since the first contract there again.
Right. So
$80 million or something, man. It's crazy.
At this point, he's the franchise guy. So he's not going. At this point, it's almost kind of like you might as well just be resigned to think that he's not going anywhere. He's already been designated the franchise guy. I mean, he might as well retire as the starting quarterback of Minnesota Vikings. Like,
well, I would be inclined to wonder who else is out there for them to get.
Oh, it would have to be draft. I don't know free agent wise what they do to go get anybody.
Right. Yeah.
He at least gives them a chance to compete.
Nobody's out there for anybody. That's the cold part. Like
he's their best
all
option
these
to
teams,
go out there and compete.
All these teams with these with the QBs, like you're going into the season with the guy you have, right? Like so, if Minnesota is going to get rid of Kirk Cousins, there's nobody out there.
It's next off season. It's not right now. You can't make a change right now. Unless the 49ers say, hey, Purdy's our guy, let's trade Trey Lance. Something like that might go down. But other than that kind of deal, most of what you got right now is what you got. You're not going to see a lot of changes, especially at that position going into the season.
Yeah, man. The NFL is just so much different to where these make or break questions for quarterbacks is kind of weird to me, especially when it's a guy who's solid enough to actually start and get you to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind
Yeah.
of
Right.
like it's not like the NBA where you can put a package together and do a 3-team trade,
Right.
and move superstars around, right?
Yeah.
So you can't just you're not gonna just trade Kirk Cousins for a Justin Herbert. You're not gonna trade Kirk Cousins for a Dak. You're not gonna trade. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not gonna be superstar quarterbacks moving around the league and saying, okay, hey, like
For each other. Yeah.
so you can't that. He's there, man. Make or break. Is he going to win or lose? He's probably going to lose. Is it going to break him? Probably not. He'll be back next year as their starting quarterback.
He said it, man. He said it. Look.
Facts.
A few more questions, man, before we end the show. Is Deshaun Watson still a top 10 QB?
I didn't like the way he played. I didn't like the way he played when he finally came back.
Big
But he was off. He was off for so. I mean, he was out of the league for. He was out of playing for so long to where,
Yeah.
you know, I I
He
think he
missed
can
11
be. I
games
think
last year. Is that what it was?
he missed.
He missed like
He
half a
came
season, I
in.
want to say.
No,
Yeah.
he came in like week 12. Yeah, he came in
Yeah.
like week 12, 13. He didn't come. He didn't get in till like week 12, week 13, something like that, right? And then he had missed the whole season before that. The whole year,
Oh, yeah.
the whole entire season
Yeah,
before
you're
that
right. Yeah.
did not play at all.
That's right.
Even though Houston had him on the roster and he was eligible to play, I believe they
They
sat him
made him,
anyway.
yeah, they made him inactive every week. That's right.
Yeah, they made him inactive anyway and just refused to play him. So, um,
Whew.
yeah, he missed almost 2 whole years. Like, so I didn't like the way he played when he came in, but I mean, he's still young though, and he has the talent. I think he can show top 10 talent to me, in my opinion. I think he can get back to that level. I mean, he got some weapons there in Cleveland. He got a running back, a good running
Yeah.
back. If he play off that play action, you know what I'm saying? And he still has an arm so he can throw deep. So he can possibly throw for a lot of yards and touchdowns. So
Y'all
we'll
Yeah.
saw
see.
y'all saw they coming out with white helmets.
The Browns, yeah. Yeah, they got an all white joint they doing this year. And they got a brown stripe with an orange stripe down the middle of it.
I kinda like it.
I
It's all
thought it
right.
was, I mean, it's all right. You can't really fuck up white too bad, dog.
Right.
It's hard to mess up. I just
Everybody
think
getting on the white tip because of the Bengals white tigers. We dropped the white tigers on that ass, and everybody and they no more on this. And you know this, man.
man, y'all
That's
look
one
like
of the
some
cleanest
y'all like
times. That was
y'all
one of
look
the
like some
cleanest.
goddamn zebras in them shits, man.
Man, we look clean as fuck.
Nah, that was cool. But on Deshaun Watson, I really just want he can't try to win. To me, when he came back late like he did, it seemed like he tried to win every game with one throw. Like he tried to make a bunch of big plays. He has to play the game of football, let the game come to him and not try to win it on one big play. You know what I mean? So if he can get back to being the Deshaun Watson he was when he had a D-Hop with him, I think that he might be able to get back in that top 10. But just saying it come out my tongue, like when you asked the question, first thing I did was, no. I shook my head automatically because there's a lot of work that he has to do. Now, he has a receiver in Amari Cooper that can make him look pretty damn good.
Which is true. But it's Cleveland.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody paying attention. Nobody paying attention. Sorry, Brown fans. I'm just be real. Nobody paying attention, y'all.
Reed said, F the dog pound, y'all.
Hey, my last question to you guys, man. Who will win a Super Bowl first? Burrow, Allen, or Jalen Hurts?
Shit. Damn. Who will win one first? I know on paper, or the popular answer would be Joe Burrow.
Right.
I still believe Jalen Hurts has a good chance being in the NFC. But you know the scary thing, and Jay Stogg said this a long time ago, the NFC East has not had a back-to-back champion in the last 10 years.
Wow. Yeah.
That's crazy as hell to me. So would that mean either the Washington Commanders, the Cowboys, or the Giants gonna win the division this year if it holds true? And where does that put the Eagles? Do they get back to the promised land, not being a division winner? I don't know.
Super Bowl hangover. Super Bowl hangover.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so.
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, that is a crazy stat in the NFC East. Considering like some of those teams had some really bad years. Well, I guess that's the answer, right? I mean,
That's the answer, man.
I think out of those three, I think Joe Burrow. I think Burrow gets one first. Like I said, I'm not sold on Josh Allen. I believe the Eagles going to have a hangover, and I think if Burrow's healthy, if that calf is okay, I think they legitimately have a chance in the AFC this upcoming season.
Guys, look, I'm not saying it because I love the Bengals. I'm not saying it. No, seriously. I'm looking at overall talent and stuff like that. Joe Burrow is just a different monster. He's just a different guy. When Cincinnati drafted him, they knew exactly what they had in that franchise quarterback. I can say it all I want because I'm a Bengals fan, but you guys are watching it on TV. You guys see it. He's a monster. That he's gonna
he's a monster. I think he's clutch. I think he's a monster. I think he's really good. I think he's an elite quarterback. Their defense is what worries me. Like that's to me.
I guess it could be.
To me, I want to know if their defense is gonna be enough. Gonna be able to win. If like. Who's their captain on their defense? Who's their best guy? Who's that guy that's gonna always make that tackle? Like who's I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really see
Trey Hendrickson. I mean, shit, man.
I mean, they have good play. Yeah, they got good guys. They got good guys. I mean,
young guys,
I don't know.
Cam Taylor-Britt, yeah, man. So, but but that is the beauty of the NFL. Every season, we have our picks, we have our thoughts, and it always comes out to be who knows.
I can't pick out of those three guys, but I'll pick another guy. I'll say Herbert will win one before those three guys.
Herbert ain't even won a playoff game yet, dog. You really believe that? You believe that? I mean,
that's him being a homer.
I'm trolling, man. I'm a Chargers fan. I'm definitely a Chargers fan. I can't pick out of those three guys, though. I really honestly don't know. I don't know who's going to win first.
I hear you.
San Diego Superchargers. I'm going to keep saying it, goddammit. I know y'all ain't that like it.
They're not in San Diego, man.
I know
we're not. We are the Los Angeles Chargers, brother.
I understand that, man. I'm still a nostalgic guy, which I am happy that they will be bringing back some of these old school jerseys this year, man. And I did see the Titans bringing back the Houston Oilers, which I don't know how they were able to do that.
I still think they got rights to do throwbacks. They just can't change and keep the name.
No, they own. Okay. He own the owner owns the name. Still owns the Oilers name.
Does it?
So yeah, the owner of the Titans, they still own the Oilers name. They took the Oilers name with them when they left.
All right, I thought the city had this shit. I don't know. I feel you, man. I didn't know that one. Good luck to them. They suck.
Oh,
shoot.
Y'all done, man.
I'm just wilding, dog. Just wilding.
Man, it's all good. MCHP Radio for BGSE Network, man. Another great show. I appreciate you guys. I know I always tell you guys, man, if you need some help, man, seek mental health help. Go out there, find your help, man. Find somebody to talk to. You know, friends are good. They can tell you what you want to hear, but sometimes you need to talk to somebody to tell you what you need to hear. So make sure you go out there and get that help if you need it, man. Most def. I will be back next week. Of course, y'all know Big Game Sports Buzz, the Chop Shop, all that good stuff. Everything that we do here on the BGSC Network. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate being part of this network. Find us on the YouTube, guys. Please continue to like, subscribe, hit the bell. All of that good stuff for myself, for Big Game, for my man Broken. Man, I love you guys. We will be back next week. Y'all take it easy, man. Peace.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Dance on the beach or something, we can slide all night. Smoke a little weed or something, getting high all night. Got my brown on ice, and you looking right. Then that see-through linen with that ass sitting right. You know how I do it, I'm a player for life. If I do lock it down, you know